Told you.
We're live.
Told you he'd show up exactly at the time he said he would. The man is consistent and he is reliable.
It's a
Right.
schedule for human beings.
Right. Let me ask you a question. I'm going
Let
to
me
paint a
ask you a
picture.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to paint a picture. Let me start with probably priority number one. Okay. You've got hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars already spent. Okay. Secondly, there's a health concern. Thirdly, this all pertains to the Disneyland in California. Fourthly, within 48 hours of your departure to Disneyland, you find out that there is a chemical spill that has led to the evacuation of 50,000 people within 5 miles of your home base when you are to report to Disneyland.
Your Disneyland home base, not
Yes.
your home, but your rendezvous point
Yeah.
at Disneyland. Okay.
So we have asked 50,000 people to evacuate an area because the potential for this chemical spill / explosion could be so significant.
And this was
in
in
the-
California? This
Yeah,
happened?
this is happening right now as we speak, my bruv.
Oh, okay.
Would you go? And then two, the follow-up for both of you, try to think of a scenario where you would be like, we're canceling.
Before you answer, Rylan, just know there is possibility of plumage.
And there's an explosion of a tank, a 7,000 gallon tank of methyl acrylate.
Okay, so if it's me, when I travel west, with very few exceptions, I rent a car. So my assumption would be that I would, given what you're telling me, I would be getting some kind of refund or voucher or some concession on my stay, but not my flight in my car. So I would
think
fly out there
yeah.
and just try to drive some other place to have some fun. Right?
Okay.
I would go to the airport, I would fly in, I would get the car, but in the process of doing that, in the days leading up to that, I would just figure out an alternate vacation, I guess.
Now,
How
Rylan,
big is the radius of
Well, hold on.
evacuation?
first of all, we are still in wait and see mode. Nothing has exploded yet, but the fire department and all of the experts have said there are two options here. Option one, big ass explosion. Okay. If that happens, we don't know exactly what next steps are. But we will say this, the evacuation zone does not include Disneyland. Okay? Does not include. It's about 3 miles away from Disneyland.
Then why bother?
Well,
Just
hold
go.
on.
They haven't evacuated yet?
They've
No.
evacuated
We might have to
some, but
evacuate.
they've done two evacuations. There was one initial evacuation, then they expanded the zone on the second evacuation. And now we're still within the first 24 hours of this.
Y'all aren't going to like what I'm about to say, but
Can I also explain?
Nope.
Can I just throw you one more thing?
I've got the floor, sir.
I just want to put in one more point of
Sir.
context. One more
Sir, I've
point of
got the floor.
context.
Okay, one more data point.
The big plan right now, Rylan, is that we've just got a fire truck just spraying the tank with water, just nonstop for double-digit hours right now. We're just trying to
gotcha.
spray the tank with water.
That further, I would say, strengthens the point I was about to make. Is Disneyland still open? Are the workers still
Oh, yeah.
going?
Oh, yeah.
Where
It
business-
is
well,
open.
Jace would know. Disneyland is
Oh,
great for
buddy,
no one, right?
I get alerts. I know
Yeah.
every hour that they are open and ready for
if-
business.
If a soda fountain runs out of syrup, Jace gets
Your boy knows. Your
He's
boy
got it.
knows. Yeah.
Okay, this week I had a conversation with a very reasonable human being about, guys, y'all aren't going to like this, but I don't care. 1 week into COVID, we knew frail people and overweight people were at risk. We knew it. We knew it then. Nothing changed. I'm sorry for all the people that got sick. I'm sorry for all the long COVID. I'm sorry for all the deaths. It's horrible. The authorities don't know how to respond to shit. And I think the one fire truck tells you all you need to know. I think I'd go ahead and go on to Disneyland.
There you go.
So your logic there is that they don't know how to respond to this, so we might as well just.
My Disneyland closing will be like the Waffle House index, right?
Exactly. That's exactly
Okay.
what I told them.
Okay.
No one is more prepared for disaster. No one is more ready to mitigate risk than the giant corporation known as Disney. Nobody is going to put their people, their customers at risk less than the Disney.
Okay, so on the other side, could we discuss the instance that would make you possibly change your vacation plans as
Or
it is?
if they close, or if they're
Well,
in the
obviously, if they
evacuation.
close. But I'm talking about where I'm trying to find the line for personal choice here.
I would say I probably would skip it if there was another pandemic. Like if Ebola had made its way to Disneyland, I'd probably be like, not worth it for me. Or like hantavirus or something. That probably would be I'm not doing this. Because in that case, I think Disney could stay open and like have plausible deniability on like if something were happening and they were at the center of it because of all those people. For something like this, there's just too much information for them to let people show up in a dangerous situation. So it would have to be something that was less reported on, but high potential of bad things.
The only way I would cancel, are we talking any vacation or Disneyland specifically?
More like event based, like theme
Like a
park
Wally
type.
World. We got
Yeah.
there and Wally World was closed kind of vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be if something happened where they changed their operations where it wasn't going to be fun for the family anymore. If they don't change their operations, I'm plowing through.
But I am telling Jason, I agree with everything he's saying, but you got to realize there is a dystopic range that they have to where they're like, hey, if we have to put you in the complimentary spray paint hazmat filter mask for you to still enjoy it, don't worry, those will be provided complimentary, and then we'll also be sanitizing them after each person. You're still going to love it.
Oh, no, that's a change of operations. I'm not wearing a hazmat.
What about
I'm
like
saying if it's-
semi-hazmat?
No,
What if
I'm
just
not
like
wearing
a tub
any.
of a hazmat?
No, I'm not wearing anything ever again. I don't care what it is. I don't care.
Disneyland is not going
I
to
don't
let you
care if
go
it's a
in
bug
naked.
that makes your dick fall off. I'm not wearing anything ever again.
Hey, just really quick update.
Human dads. Human dads.
Human dads.
Human dads.
I'll wait for the update. You're going to love this one. This is a good
Okay.
update.
Human dads.
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 Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast. Human dads. Get up off your ass.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Get up off your ass.
Tell your mom.
Oh, your mom.
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 Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen.
Get up off your ass for the Human Dads Podcast.
Get up
Sources
off
are
of-
saying,
Okay.
so hot breaking news. Sources are saying that wait times and crowds were very low yesterday. So I think you're in good shape, Brad. You are going to be able to ride as many rides as you want.
Are you planning a trip? Like, is this in your actual situation life right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Buddy, we have all the money spent and we are leaving Monday morning.
Hell, go. Go. I didn't
You're
realize
gonna-
I thought y'all were just making this up.
You're going to be able to go on. You're going to ride car rides 3
Right.
times. Yes, you'll cough up some blood, a little bit of blood.
You may have some loose stool.
Yeah, you might have some gastrointestinal issues.
I think they're more worried about the respiratory side of things here.
Power through. You'd be good. Power through.
I'm
Disneyland will
telling-
know. Disneyland has men in black suits that know how to put that fire out all up. One fire truck. That's all you need to know. And I'm not saying like negative. I'm actually saying positive things about fire departments. Those dudes know what's up.
Okay.
Yeah.
They send 2 fire trucks Listen, when a lady falls in her house and they send an ambulance to get her out because they need to take her over to the hospital, they send 2 fire trucks. Okay, half the time. All right.
Oh, I forgot. But the whole area is covered in fire trucks. It's just the one spraying the water. There are drones. There are drones, Ryland. We are monitoring with drones.
They of course, that's what they bought the drones for. They got to prove that they needed them.
Remind me after we get through this first initial bit to go back to drone talk. Just don't let us forget drone talk, okay? Because I want to.
I'll make a note before we forget and before we lose our 4 listeners. It's still the first 10 minutes. I want to apologize to everybody. Sincerely apologize to
everybody. Right.
Sincerely everybody about our irregular schedule these last few weeks.
Few weeks, but I think
2 months.
We're in May. You take us back to February. I don't think
March,
we've been regular.
Yeah. Since spring break, we've been screwed. But it's obviously a plot by Big Graduation to keep me from delivering my annual message that you don't have to go. They're pointless. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants them. The people that do want them, they're dying off. Respect them like I did my dear grandmother who wanted to go to my college graduation, so I went. Otherwise, I would not have gone. Respect those people in your life. But when they're gone, it's time to end it, guys. You don't have to do it.
You know how so I've been plenty anti-graduation. I need to own that. People who know me know that's the way I've been. But you know how everybody's got some dissonance. Everybody has the potential to be a hypocrite, right? But let me wind back the clock to like 2015 to your regular run-of-the-mill Republican who would be just god-awful as it pertained to people being gay and gay marriage, and then turns out their daughter would be the gay, and they would come on TV and say something like, and I just thought gays were from the devil and deserved a hellfire life, and we should scorn them, and if it was still okay to tar and feather people and then bludgeon them to death in the town square while we all throw rocks at them, I would find that an acceptable consequence for their lifestyle. And then one day I had a conversation with my daughter, and I'm here to tell you that while I still don't agree with her lifestyle, I think we should only tar and feather them. I don't think we should bludgeon them with rocks.
I've softened my stance.
Yeah, I've softened my stance. That used to be a kind of a typical refrain from your regular run-of-the-mill, Republican. And I say that to say I have been anti-graduation. And here I am with a daughter graduating 6th grade, and I am having a tremendous amount of time. I am having to apply a tremendous amount of effort to keep it together. And though I do think the events were probably too much, the volume of events, the number of events, probably too much. I do think there is a good number that we could have hit that would have been positive in terms of reflection, that would have been positive in terms of looking back and awarding and recognizing. Now, do I think that I feel that way because I only had to do this with approximately 60-ish children? Probably. I think that probably has a pretty good impact on the overall enjoyment of the situation.
Jace, when do we tell him it's not a real graduation? It's 6th grade.
Right.
He's on my side on this.
Well, hold on. I have very nuanced feelings.
You're really going to need to change. Listen, we either need to get a 4th host or change this.
No. Rylan, I'm still on.
You two
I'm still on your side, Rylan. Let me
taking progesterone. Like what is going on?
Rylan, let me state my point before you turn on me.
Oh, who's turning on who?
Hold on. I want to be clear. What everything Jason is about to say, he has already told us that he was changing his vote like in the last 2 years. He has iterated over the last 2 years, and he's made it comfortable for people like me to come out of the closet.
You're right.
Listen,
he's been leaning in.
6th grade graduation was about an hour. Let's call it 9 to 10. Okay. 8:45 to 9:45, I wanted to kill myself. I was ready to kill myself. Like full on. I had already thought about what death would be like. I had considered nothingness and tried to understand like the impact of my decisions. Then they turned on the slideshow.
Mm.
Then they turned on the slideshow, Rylan.
You saw pictures that you've seen before.
But then they played that Shakira song from Zootopia.
How you say her name? That little South American that be shaking her tush. What's her?
Shakira.
Rylan,
One of y'all is really doing your mic
you're not
a disservice
helping
right
your
now.
case here.
Rylan, they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing, and they did the things that they know were gonna just really get the waterworks going.
You know what I think I could, compromise on? Not that I'm necessarily in favor of going to these things, but if you want to have the slideshow, great. I mean, they had one at Maya's 5th grade yesterday. This is the thing. We can't even, living 30 miles from each other, we can't even agree on what age to do this at. It's so important that we don't even do it at the same age. It's so important. It's such a big deal. They had the slideshow. They had the awards. Like, we just don't need to read the list of names. We just don't really. If they could just do away with reading the list of names, then I would probably have never even taken this mantle up and added it to my platform. But since they don't want to let it go, then I'm not going to let mine go either. And it's a big graduation conspired to prevent me from having a forum before graduations happened. They've all basically happened now. And you guys were the ones that couldn't record. And it's proven they've gotten to you. Listen to you guys. They got to y'all.
No, they haven't got. I still am anti. Listen. I'm still anti. Did I even get emotional when they sang "Remember Me" from Coco, facing the crowd?
Oh my God, I would have.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I laughed. I looked at my son and I made him laugh while he was standing there doing it. We were cracking each other up.
Yeah, we're not going to interface with our emotions here. This is
no.
You kidding me?
That's about dead people.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's really happened. Jace, you're not making this up.
Good touch.
100%.
Nice touch.
100%.
I agree with Rylan and I agree with Jason, but it's a great touch. I would have died.
Brad, it's not. It doesn't surprise me one bit that you sent us pictures of your sweet daughter just bawling her eyes out because she had no shot. She had no shot of being able to withstand the emotions of a graduation with you as her dad.
We didn't know it, but her principal is leaving, and her principal went up there and talked for like 5 minutes and just bawled her eyes out. And then you look at like half of them, and they're just over there just weeping. But she didn't make the announcement at the graduation, but because the principal was like having a hard time like getting past the when you
lady, you done graduated. It ain't about you. Didn't they give you a retirement party or a going away party?
She was crying because she's telling everybody goodbye and they don't know it yet. But
they don't know it, but you know it. Like, what's happening?
We knew it the next day. So it made sense as to why she was so emotional.
Let's be sure and make it about the middle-aged woman. That's important. Let's be sure and do that.
I would just like to know the reason this podcast is so good is because you have Brad on one side, you have Rylan on the other, and I feel like I'm right in the middle of this situation. You get the three perspectives here.
First off, though, that only happens on this particular subject. I think the 2-on-1 concept is what makes it go, and the ever-changing matrix that is the 2 versus the 1 there, it doesn't line up always to where it's Brad versus Rylan, Jason in the middle. That's not how it usually goes. There's a number of times where you two jackasses don't have the right idea about something, and I'm over here by myself.
Plus, I frequently will exaggerate my thoughts on something just to.
No way. I'm usually shooting it straight and narrow, right down the middle.
Did you cry, Brad? Did you cry?
I didn't, but I did not cry. But holy shit, that's a big ass squirrel. Sorry. I did not, but I was taken by my own, like, just overall emotional feeling for the whole thing. We've talked about this like for 6 years at this time of year, where we overdo all this stuff and it's all too much. And I still have that feeling. I'm not kidding. I think the sixth graders got like 6, 7, 8 events. Like, there were multiple field trips. There was a band field trip. There was a 6th grade field trip.
Oh yeah.
There was a
Main
graduation,
event, pool
there was
parties,
there was a parade, and then a park thing.
clap out.
There was a bunch of stuff, dude. And then to that end, I think it puts, and we already talked about this too, the schedule gets shaky, but also I think a lot of it falls on, call it the mom group, to kind of Christmasize the quote unquote graduation. I don't disagree with you, Rylan. The idea that 5th and or 6th grade is some sort of milestone because you're going to a different building doesn't quite track, but I do think it has turned into such a thing that now PTA and now mom group is like, well, what if we do this? This would be cool. And I saw on Instagram, these people did this. And I heard my friends at the other school, when they left 8th grade to go to 9th grade, they did this. And so you have all of this kind of arms race, the way that we do with Christmas, the way that we do with birthday parties, to kind of pile on top of pile on top of pile.
Youth activities, everyone's showing out for each other.
Yeah.
You know what? Some of that I don't mind, just because it is a richer experience for our kids than what we had doing the stuff we like to do growing up. It's just way more expensive, which sucks. But credit to our school district. They ain't do shit for 8th grade. We went up to the middle school. We lined up along the track outside the school, and the 8th graders just did a clap out. And a bunch of the moms, Courtney got some, had these big fat heads printed with the kids' faces on them. So I'm up there waving a 4-year-old face of Layla, and she doesn't want to be there. And just a classic middle school experience. You know, the just the penultimate fuck middle school. Now the other one is starting it. So I got 3 more years of this before finally I can be done with middle school forever. So I will give credit there. It was an easy one. But 5th grade was a lot. We didn't, growing up, we've all talked about this. Growing up, we had a middle school graduation, which felt more bigger because you're going to high school, which is definitely a different vibe. But we didn't have anything for kindergarten or 5th grade or anything like that.
I mean, I can kind of understand the elementary school emotion, though, because for a lot of these kids, they've been at the same school in our district for 6 years. Same teachers, same principal, seeing the same people. 6 years is a long time in a young kid's life. And so
it's half your life if you're 12.
Yeah. So I don't, I get it. And I would feel much more comfortable with a elementary school graduation than a middle school where it's 2 years. Like, that seems
it's
weird.
2 years for us over here. I don't remember a middle school graduation. The only graduations I remember are the 5th and the high school. The 5th was like I would call it like we all were told to dress up because there was going to be the obvious assembly that everybody in the school got, but ours was extra because it was a quote unquote graduation ceremony. And then there was like a food and like hang out in the cafeteria thing afterward. Like, it was definitely a different from your run of the mill assembly, but then that was it. We were done. There wasn't a field trip leading up to it. There wasn't a week before trip for this group for ending up in 6th grade graduation. There wasn't an after park situation. There wasn't a drive around the school parade where we clap everybody out and then all the people in the trucks and the cars are throwing candy and spraying bubbles and shooting silly string.
Is that all school sponsored, though, or is that PTA mom sponsored? Because most of our stuff was not school sponsored.
I think
extra stuff.
The extra stuff, I think, was largely PTA and mom group. But I also do think it's a little bit of a tradition at the school because it was done last year, and I didn't have anybody in 6th grade, and I remember it was done the year before that, and
It's probably mom driven, and each year they got whoever's in the leadership of the PTA. They sit down and go, okay, how are we going to top those bitches from last year?
Oh,
I don't like Angela, and Stacy and I used to be friends, and then they're just topping each other. Before we move off of end of school stuff, we didn't get a chance to record in a while. Mother's Day weekend, my parents were here because Layla, our 8th grader, had her end of the school year like theater production. She's kind of she actually had like a pretty big size role in this thing. They did High School Musical, whatever. Every year at the end of these, they auction off a poster of the thing, like with all the kids signed it, just to raise money for the theater program. You guys have said things about where I live, so I want you all to guess what you think a just regular printed out 24 by 36 movie poster type looking thing with a bunch of middle schoolers' signatures on it for the fun purpose of fundraising, auctioning it in the intermission of a show. What do you think it would go for?
Can I go
it's
first?
Funny because the kids are the auctioneers, so it's actually kind of funny to watch.
can I ask a couple questions? So this is printed out and like held together by some sort of PVC pipe frame or something?
No, it's not framed. It's just rolled up.
Okay, but how's it presented? Somebody's just holding it with two
Holding it
hands,
up. Yeah.
like a blanket?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Like on and I'm sorry, you said 5th grade or 6th grade?
Middle school. So it's a bunch of
Middle
7th. It's like the middle school productions class. So it's all 7th and 8th graders, I guess. Maybe there's a few 6th, but it's something you have to try out to be able to take the class.
Okay, so but the thing that we're auctioning is essentially it's a picture.
It's a poster.
It's a poster. It's like it's like a movie poster.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
you idiot.
I thought you were trying to say it was the poster that you would put out front like for the event.
Yes,
But-
that's exactly what it is. God,
But not-
Brad.
But not like a poster that tacks on a wall. I'm thinking more of like a
You'd
display.
frame it. You'd frame it.
I-
But
I'm
It's
thinking
just
not
a
like-
movie poster. God, I swear to God, why do you ruin the show?
I'm just trying to get a clarification. All right.
I would
Go
like
ahead.
to put in a bid. I'm tired of this.
All right.
Give me $1,200.
okay. Brad.
I'm going to say $951.
Okay. This is the second year that we've been there with my mom and dad for this particular thing.
Real quick, did mom and dad make a bid?
I'll get there.
Oh,
We start asking for bids, and it goes, I'm not shitting y'all. It goes 20. 20, do I have 30? 30. 30, can I get 50? Robert Rowe, 200.
Yep.
There he is. There he is.
And
Oh,
Hold on though. This is typical. I mean, one, you got to be this kind of person, but this is typical grandparent behavior.
Oh,
One,
yeah.
because I bet you Mr. Rowe has no intentions of paying, but he knows if he gets in there early enough and amps that hill just enough to where somebody's like gonna be reasonable, but also a little unreasonable, he will get credit for having pumped the thing up. And we're making money for the kids. We do it for the kids. We love the kids, but he ain't gonna pay none of it.
actually, this has been my dad's MO for as long as I can remember, which is that he is extremely frugal. Well, not extremely. He is very frugal, very conscious with where the money goes. But he is not afraid to spend a little money on something that he thinks is fun or a nicer version of this thing or that. He'll also drive. He drove a truck for 20 years. It was rust. The color was rust because the metal was rust. But he's one of those guys. He's not afraid to say, "I've got the money too, bitch," because I can do math. Basically, you know. I don't know if he ever honestly made more than 60 or 70 grand in a year individually. I honestly don't know. But he's like, I can count. I got money. The math's easy. So he goes 200. Which embarrassingly elicits a reaction from the whole crowd. So
Why wouldn't it?
y'all's estimates are completely off.
Okay. We just
And then-
10x though from 30. We just 10x.
Yeah, but
from
what are
30.
we doing going? Well, what are we doing going up by increments of 10? All right, which was his thought as well. Then they keep asking for bids. Somebody goes 225.
Oh,
So
okay.
he says 300, and it's sold.
Oh no.
So he says 300. So my dad gets it. I need to frame it. I've got it in there. I'll put it up for Layla. But anyway, we get home and he's like, "Look at all these houses, all these son of bitches. Look at all the money they got."
He damn right, Robert.
Hey, I'm with Robert on this, but I would like to
agree.
talk to his son about the way he framed this. As though he told us it was a trophy club thing, but it was actually a
Yes,
dig
we
at
know what.
trophy club. It was
Yes.
a dig
What?
at trophy club, but he presented a dig at trophy club, DICK.
Yeah, he poisoned the well before he even started his story, because he knows damn well that with the right item up there, Trophy Club's going to pay 200% in excess of value in anytime they want to. Right? That's a no-brainer.
No, I think all we have here is a smaller population base at a middle school, and had that been at the high school, we clearly
Game
would have
over.
been closer to $1,000.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the things, and he is right in principle. He's 100% right in principle. But one of the things I explained to him is like, these are the theater parents. These aren't the golf parents.
Yeah.
Right. These aren't the football parents.
Yeah.
And I knew maybe only 2 sets of parents or 3 in the audience out of however many 100 people that were in there. That tells you, I mean, like a lot of, it's just a different crowd, but it was funny. You got a laugh out of it. Now I got
How much you gonna
probably
pay?
another 100 and something on a damn frame.
I was going to say, it is not going to be cheap to frame that bad boy up.
Too big.
And he couldn't take it home himself. It's staying there in the Rowe household.
Well, he's not gonna
TC
hang
version.
He's not going to hang it. I'm going to put it up in Layla's room.
He should put it up with the Nolan Ryan Justin Boot poster in your room that he's left the same for the last 35 years since you left.
Justin Boot poster's been down forever, but I know we've got it in our baseball card closet somewhere. Should pull that out. Yeah.
You know how one time I asked y'all, like, what would the size of the backyard squirrel have to be before we started treating it differently? Like right now, it gets to live its existence because
it's little.
It's little and it can hide. But like, what if it was the size of like, and the same behavior and everything, but like, what if it was the size of like a standard dachshund? So give it another 10,
Dude,
15
are you
pounds.
shitting me?
They'd be trapping
I would
them.
I'd have a shotgun in the backyard. There's no animal that size that's going to roam on my property. No,
And take your shit.
You can't shoot them inside your, unless you live out in the county, as they say.
the hell I can't.
You'd be
Says
you'd be
who?
Animal, every city would have like a 20x animal control budget to trap these fuckers, but you wouldn't be allowed to do anything with them except take them 2 miles that way and dump them. And then they just
Shoot
come
them in the
right
head?
damn back. It would be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
So like there's obviously a threshold in which it would start to impact daily life and how we treat them, right? Along that same principle, I'm sure you guys have noticed, as many listeners have probably noticed, the dulcet overhead tones of the drones that are passing on a daily basis. I realize that we have air travel and the airplanes will make a lot more noise, but theoretically, or I guess theoretically is maybe the wrong word. What's most likely is we are likely to see a great increase in these drones. And right now at my house, if you're in the backyard, you might see, I don't know, 5 to 10 an hour. And it's a drone because all you got to do is listen to about 2 or 3 of them. And that sound is very distinct.
Are you advocating that we use them to shoot squirrels?
No, I'm just asking.
How big does the drone have to be before?
How many
They're done?
drones are we going to allow to overtake the sky?
Why do you think you're getting so many? I don't get that many.
But I think we're at the
close to
nascent
something?
stage. I think we're at the nascent stage of drone deliveries right now. And I guess maybe I am close to something, because if you're out in my
Maybe, yeah.
backyard, like I said, you'll get 5 to 10 an hour. Jason, I'm assuming they're taking the path east to west right over your neighborhood too.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't. I don't sit outside quite as much, so I don't know because of the mosquitoes. But I do get the option to have Amazon deliver things by drone when I buy it on Amazon.
Yeah,
now.
they have their own distinct tone. And right now, I'm not telling you that it's annoying, but it does have its own distinct tone. And there has to be a number at which, if we 5x, 10x, 20x it, I'm telling you, it's going to be annoying.
People are gonna have a backlash against it, and it'll be really interesting to watch how it plays out, because the proverbial moneyed interests will have their own desire to keep it going.
And then that started me down another path. There's a lot of things that, like, you can't vigilante your way out of. You can't do something about. But I don't know how rapidly and strongly the technology has to advance. We live in a place with a lot of guns. A lot of guns. And it just feels like a bad mixture of overhead vehicles making noise well within earshot and range of what a weapon can do. Like, I'm just thinking of all the ways this thing goes off the rails, so to speak. And what do we have to look forward to? And am I just being silly and order will always win the day, and these drones are going to be fit with 16 different cameras that can locate an assailant? And
they'll definitely know if they get shot. They'll definitely be able to know, oh, it was one of these few houses. It would have to be a shotgun. Nobody's taking one out of the air with a handgun. It would have to be a shotgun. So then it's got to be low, so it can't be too high. So what, you're going to shoot down your neighbor's pack of Windex that they ordered because like it's
one of those
a delivery. You shoot
Here's
it out.
But you could, right? Couldn't you
I'm
do
not
that?
telling you.
It will happen.
I'm not telling you it's going to yeah, I'm not telling you it's going to happen all the time. I'm telling you this is now going to be part of our daily news sequence. And a man taken to jail today for shooting what experts are calling 15 different drones over a 21-day period. Like, and that sentence wouldn't have made sense 10 years ago.
Hey, Rylan, what's the ordinance? Could if my neighbor ordered a drone delivery and the drone was just above my fence line going through my backyard, could I not hit it with a baseball bat and legally say that it was trespassing?
It's all going to be FAA stuff.
Depending on how high it is, right?
So it's all going to be what they'll do. What they'll have to do is they'll have to stay at a certain height, which is probably different for a drone. There's probably, I assume there's some specific drone rules from the FAA. In fact, I know there are, but for deliveries and stuff. So I would assume that it leaves FAA jurisdiction at a certain height, like you said, but it would have to be over your property at that point because you've invited it there if you were getting the delivery. So so you wouldn't be able to reach it. But the thing is, if you shoot it out of the air, Officer Smith from the local PD might come pay a visit, but you're going to get referred to the feds. Like, it's going to be
you can't shoot it out of the air.
It's going to be this weird FAA deal where they're going to send you to federal pounding the ass prison.
I know it's airspace regulated by FAA, but in theory, our property lines are like the field goal posts and like the pylons for the end zone. Our property lines go all the way to the singularity. Like they go all the way.
They don't anymore. I don't know where they go to, but they don't go as far as you would think. I'll guarantee you that. They probably only go up whatever that height is that Jason's talking about. What height does the FAA say we control this? At that point, it's not your area anymore.
Well, I'm telling you,
it's like the opposite of mineral rights.
They're big enough and loud enough to notice, and it just got me to thinking, how many of these before this actually becomes just another daily distraction where old people are like, the world is too loud and there's too many sounds and there's too much shit, and noise ordinances throughout the different townships, cities, and population centers otherwise are going to say one thing, and what's actually going to happen is going to be another thing, as you said, in the name of moneyed interest.
It'll
And
be
then we're
like
gonna be-
cities can control underground utilities through franchise agreements, right? So all your old school cable and telephone and fiber and all this stuff, gas and electric, you have some say over what goes in the ground, although obviously with varying levels of control because, they're all bigger than you or whatever. And when 5G came out, state said, fuck you, cities. You can't have any say. We're gonna let these wireless providers do whatever in public right away. You can't stop them. Just basic guidelines about what they can and can't do that are very middle of the road, sort of public interest, public safety type stuff. And then beyond that, they can do whatever they want in a public right of way without franchise fees or franchise agreements, or maybe there are some fees, but like it's not the same. Like point is, they're taking control away because it's big business can buy off the state. The drone stuff will be exactly the same, if not worse. But you're going to have the bird people are going to get mad. The noise people are going to get mad.
A lot of bird people out there
are going to shoot at them. New Year's Eve, everybody's going to go out and see if they can shoot.
What about the other drone people? I didn't even think about them. The just your
drone people,
your recreational drone people. Just I don't know.
There's a dude that lives a couple houses down from me, retirement age dude, but not super old or anything. He and his wife, they'll go out on the trails out here by the lake, and they'll have their drone kind of like follow them and kind of go on the trail and stuff and take pictures and make videos.
Doing content.
It's cool. Maybe doing a little content. Yeah, I don't know.
They got to be doing content. Go for a walk with me around Lake Grapevine with my drone. I'm not going to lie to you. I would watch it.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Jace, are you monitoring the Disneyland situation or are you sleeping?
Have we had the explosion yet? Don't you feel in good hands though, Brad? Honestly, can I rephrase my entire answer to that question? My answer would be whatever Jason and Sarah tell me.
That's right.
Not even kidding. I feel so lucky that no matter what, I'm in the best possible hands. It's like having a lawyer friend and you get arrested.
he's not wrong. It's less valuable for me, but yes, that's true.
Whatever they tell me, I'm doing it. Like, I can't tell y'all how much I appreciate that y'all are there. Make my life so much easier next time I go to Disney.
The only thing that I feel better about being that Jason is involved is that I will have a personal route to commiseration, who I know
someone to bitch at when it goes left.
No, but I know he'll either one, understand and completely commiserate with me, and two, I couldn't. He makes it to where I couldn't be mad at anybody. You know what I mean?
He's a man of peace. He's a
man of peace.
He's a
but I
level-headed
also
guy.
know that he would just be like, "Hey, dude, unless they're putting a fire at the entrance, I'm not going." And I think he represents, like I told Molly already, I think he represents like 80 to 90% of people probably who are just like, do you have to run through fire to get into the park? No, I'm not going. If anything short of that,
if his back goes out and there is a fire and there's a fire at the gate, he's going to get on that scooter and he's going to power right through that fire at 2.5 miles an hour to get in there.
Because
guys, I have been standing at a hotel at 3 a.m. with a sprinkler going off right at my face while my dog was going through a $10,000 emergency surgery.
Love of the game. All for the love of the game.
Thousands of miles away.
You know what? I'm glad that we brought up the what did it call? What are they called? The Rascal. Because it just now occurred to me, if I was in that level of back pain, would I have continued the trip and used the damn Rascal?
Would you have?
He's a gamer. He's like this. That was his flu game.
would you have waited for the bus platform to lower down while everybody else on the bus waited,
Dude,
so
the
that I could
first
drive
time-
the scooter?
The first time we had to do that, I would look at my family and I'm saying, I'm sorry, you guys are going to have to defend yourselves in Disney World. Like, cause I'm just going to be at the hotel. Y'all could Skype me. And
Here's the thing, and I'll tell you this, and you need to hear this now more than ever, because you're about to have to make decisions for you and your family that will influence the rest of this year. Never once have I regretted powering through for a vacation, a Disney vacation or otherwise.
But to
Never
me,
once.
that's not powering through. Riding a rascal for 7 days is not powering through in my mind. That your frame of reference for powering through has more girth than mine.
But I had a great time. You get to the ride entrance and you hop off the rascal with your cane and you sort of shimmy up to the seat and you sit down and you ride. And you ride
with your cane. He said,
Well,
with your cane.
while that jelly fluid in your back pad, as it presses up against the nerve, your feet are numb, but you're riding that
You
ride.
know what I think might make it better for me? So I'm bald. I wouldn't wear a hat, okay? And because I'm bald, I would also wear the old people blue blockers. And I think there might be some ambiguity about like my actual age and ability if I'm bald. If I'm bald and people see me getting off the rascal with a cane and blue blockers,
And they're like,
they
oh,
might-
look at that old guy just like
look at the
kicking ass.
60-year-old guy with a busted hip.
At some point that doesn't matter to you anymore, and I know you're there too. I know you are. You may not want to admit it, but do you think I give a shit what Karen from Southern California thinks about me when I'm getting off that
idea
rascal?
that the whole bus has to wait on me. And do you know how many and you know, Jason, you've been in it without the damn rascal. How many times you think, okay, we're about to be in the bus, we're about to oh no.
Yes. I don't give a shit.
And
He's
those
on
damn
vacation.
the way they
I'm on
lower
vacation.
they lower those ramps at a rate of an inch per 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's not efficient. They need to do better there.
I like to
Well, they're
imagine
trying
the
not to
idea
get
of
anybody
Brad-
hurt.
Yeah, I like to think of Brad on the lift going down, and he's already so beaten, and it's going so slow that he just puts the scooter into fourth gear and just ends it right there. It just drives on the edge. He's just hoping that this 3 foot
Just
fall
face plants,
is
just
enough to
thuds.
put him out of
A
his misery.
3-foot thud. The front of the scooter just flips forward, and he's face planting into the concrete.
He's like, please, sweet release of death. Just like,
I'm telling you, dude, the first time that bus was full and everybody is waiting on me, each deet, I am just melting. Each
it's like
beep,
it's like a knife in your back. You just make it.
Like I
work.
said, never have I regretted it. Now, I would regret not going. I would certainly. Would you be pissed off if you don't go and then you look at pictures and there are people at Disneyland having amazing times, just living their best life, and you didn't go because you were worried that maybe there would be a plume above you? You'd regret it, right?
Can you imagine
know,
the
bro.
once in a lifetime opportunity of your family picture at Disneyland with a mushroom
Yeah.
cloud behind you?
Can
could
you
there be
imagine how cool that would be?
Is there a more
You remember-
2026 moment that you could have than that?
When
Hazmat
on-
uniforms.
yeah. When we were on Splash Mountain and the ride went to pause because they were starting to evacuate the park. And because we were mid-ride, we were one of the last people that got out. And by the time we left, our lungs were burning. And then we got into the hotel and they said everybody has to stay in their room. And for the next 3 days, they brought us Lunchables 3 times a day.
No.
Firefest food. It's like Disneyland Firefest.
You're gonna have a great time, and by Monday, things are
It's all
gonna be
fine.
fine. It's gonna
I
be
agree.
fine. This is not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things.
Let's hold a positive outlook. I think everything will blow over. I think you'll be fine.
So to
I
speak.
think Jason's risk. What would you say your risk assessment?
Disney
the-
risk assessments probably at about
Yeah.
4% right now, max.
They
I mean,
are. Think about how sophisticated an operation they are at
Oh.
understanding this stuff. I mean,
So,
they
I
own.
agree with
They're a
everything.
$1 billion.
I agree with everything. Okay. I always think about the McDonald's coffee vagina woman. Okay.
Okay, that's not her name.
Oh, I'm sorry. You recall her first and last name real quick, right off the top of
Well,
your head.
even if I don't, I promise you I'm not calling her that.
Calling her what?
What you just called her.
McDonald's coffee vagina person.
Correct.
Okay. So, for those that don't remember, when we were younger, there was a woman went into the McDonald's drive-thru and she was given some just well above boiling hot coffee, and the way it was handed to her, it spilled onto her lap, and it was so hot that it mutilated her genitals. Okay. And she experienced all kinds of pain and suffering for this. And because of that, she sued the McDonald's. Okay.
Why are you smiling when you tell this story?
Ryland's laughing at the use of the name that I gave the story in a joking manner.
You're just smiling as you talk about mutilated genitals. And
How
that's
dare you
disturbing.
know my intentions? How dare you accuse me of knowing why for I'm having a smirk? It's a come on.
You're What is your point? How does this get back? Please explain how this gets back to the.
So for the longest time, the story was, can you believe how ridiculous people in America are? They would sue McDonald's for having coffee spilled on them. Could you believe how crazy this person is for suing McDonald's for a little coffee spill? Ooh, things are so crazy these days. In America, you can sue for anything, even if somebody spills a little bit of coffee on your puss.
The interesting thing about that was, and I think, this is a result of just changing times, is that the genitalia impact of that incident did not enter the mainstream consciousness until the last, maybe 10 years.
And to what I'm saying,
back then people just said, "Oh, she spilled hot coffee on her lap."
But what I'm saying,
they were afraid to say vagina.
Yeah, that probably, you're probably correct. That did factor into it, but also it was a huge propaganda mechanism at the hands of McDonald's, a huge international corporation. It
was like a welfare queen technique.
Yeah, one person wrong. And so we all believed and took it into this trope territory. They were so good at their propaganda that we were like the individual in this circumstance who was, made to experience the punishment of ineptitude of the McDonald's. We believe they were the punchline. We believe that they were wrong. We turned them into a laughingstock. And when you say, look, Disneyland would not take a chance at experiencing bad press because it's going to hurt their bottom line, I 100% agree with you. And the thing I'm talking about is just further down the line of possibilities that, yes, if something were to happen and they would get bad press, that would be bad. And because of that, they have such power that they would be like, oh, you believe these people coughing a little bit? We're not the cause. And they would turn it into a whole propaganda item.
No, because that goes against their corporate culture. That goes against their bottom line. Like they can't be known for stuff like that. That's the beauty of Disney, is that if they turn into McDonald's and they use that tactic to try to get good press, they're not Disney anymore. See, they've got to be magical at all times. This is why that's why the park has to be clean at all times. Every detail has to be taken care of.
They do. Their brand is what makes their brand makes this a little bit different for them to what Brad's describing, they can do in countless ways, but this one's hard to see a way around it, right? McDonald's, it's like, I need a quarter pounder. I need McNuggets. I need some fries. I want my Coke with the perfect size straw. So they can be a little more brutal with their public persona, and their ordering kiosks and the milkshake machines never working and all that kind of stuff.
Let me give you an example, right? We were in Disneyland or Disney World for one of the first times, and my son had an allergic reaction to something. Don't know exactly what happened, but they had an he had an allergic reaction and started having like hives and everything. And so we had to like get help, medical attention in the park. He was very young at the time. They send like the security paramedics in, and we're sitting in the middle, not the middle, but in the park, and they're helping him out and everything. And while they're doing this, I'm sort of watching, and the way that they do it, it's like, it's art, man. The way that they manage to like help somebody while also not drawing attention to it, while like making the experience feel the same for everybody around. There's not like big lights. There's not like a big brouhaha. They bring like this little stuffed animal in to give him because he's having this situation. They give him the stuffed animal so he calms down. He's not crying. Everything is curated for this magical experience, despite the fact that, of course, they're a big corporation. All they care about is money. But the way that they get the money is creating the experience. And if in the news, Brad, 1 million people go to Disneyland on Monday and get MMA virus or bloody lung balls, whatever.
Well, all of a sudden they get cauliflower ear and a bunch of back tattoos.
Yeah. Exactly. If that's what happens, the magic is gone at that point. The magic is forever tainted. And that means that that's less money for them and less visitors.
I buy into this, man. I really do buy into this. Listen, Courtney and I are going to Colorado tomorrow. If we weren't, I'd just go to Disneyland with you, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah, he would. Because he ain't scared. You think he's scared?
Solidarity. No, just to support my buddy, support his family. What if we did go to it'd be fun. Come on.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, change your plans. I'm in if you're in. I won't even give it a second thought if you say you're going Monday.
It's one thing to go to Disneyland with my wife and the 2 kids, which we've done a few times, and we always have a good time. It's another thing to think about getting to stand in line with Brad and all the people watching commentary we get to make of the situations there. So
an alcohol-free mojito from the little Mexican spot right there when you walk in. By the way, amazing breakfast burritos there. Seriously, actually really good.
Burritos?
Yeah.
I think I had 2 or 3 breakfast burritos, and we, as a family, probably spent a dozen churros last time we were at the Disneyland.
The churro, yeah, I can't tell you how many churros we had. One of the days, I guess it was the first night we were there kind of late, and we were leaving, and everybody wanted one last churro. Layla was like burnt out and kind of in a bad mood, and she was just out on everything, and so she didn't want a churro. And then we got halfway out the door, and she's like, I should have got a churro.
Yeah, always get the churro.
I mean, we easily had 10 churros each. Like, it's crazy.
That's the life lesson here, Brad. Get the churro. Don't worry about plumes. It's going to be okay. Monday's going to roll around, and it's going to be an afterthought. It's going to blow up, probably kill 500 people, but you'll be fine. You're going to be in the safe confines of Disneyland.
Yeah, the correct play after the postmortem on the 500 people is not, think about a community suffering. That's not the play. The play is think about how low these lines are going to be because there's so many people that are scared off from this whole tragedy.
You're going to ride everything. It's going to be like an empty park, and you're going to have the best time ever.
Surely there's other stuff that would like, let's say for 12 weeks in a row, they caught a pedophile at Disneyland. Every week there was another pedophile caught at Disneyland. How are the lines?
Pedophile Thursdays.
Yeah. It would just have to be like, what are they doing?
You think I'm scared of pedophiles, dude?
Name
a pedophile that you are scared of.
Donnie?
No. This is like that age-old question, right? Like, could you beat up a gorilla? Or like, could you take 3 dogs? Like three pit bulls, could you fight them off? I think that I could beat up 10 pedophiles at the same time.
Yeah, they ain't got that dog in them, right?
They don't have that dog in them, man. They're all about the shadows and creepiness. There's not a pedophile out there that scares me. Not one.
Because if they had that dog in them, they'd be doing different crimes, right?
Oh yeah, they'd be raping and killing and murdering. No, but that's what elevates is what I'm saying. These are horrible people.
Okay. Hey,
I think what Jace is saying is that instead of having the T-shirt that says "Shoot your local pedophile," he would just wear one that says "Punch your local pedophile." 'Cause
hand to
100%.
hand to hand, your local pedophile.
Don't waste
right.
your bullets. Don't
No.
waste your bullets on a pedophile. Save
Right.
them for the murderer rapist.
It's expensive these days. Yeah.
Yeah, ammo.
Just handle up
Ammo
on
ain't cheap. What a way to end the show, by the
Do
way.
you guys want to do over of the last 3.5 minutes, or
No.
You
why?
brought up pedophiles, dude. That's on you.
don't remember?
Isn't that what everyone's talking about anyway? Well, until we started a war, isn't that what everyone was talking about? I think we can talk about it. So
I mean, I think there's still a lot of talking about it
there is a lot.
in my mind and my experience here locally, very very, 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 very micro locally. It's been my
Hyper-locally.
experience. Yeah, hyper locally. What are
I
you guys
went to a-
podcasting
I
about
went
now?
to a wine about hyper locally. I went to a wine tasting at a friend of a friend's house last weekend, where
Okay.
Oh,
they knew
hold on.
they're like members of a wine club, and the winery says, "Hey, will you host a tasting here with people so that we
It's
can
like
sell
a Mary
more
Kay
wine?"
for a local
And
winery. Yeah.
the lady that lives there, super cool, can cook like so she cooked all this great food to go with the wine. And at one point, she was like, "Here's this thing, and it's got this with honey." And she goes, "And it's actually hyper local honey, because I got bees in the backyard." And we were like, "What?" Yeah, how about that?
Bees. Dude, so now that's where you cross into a new tax bracket is when you have bees in your
No,
backyard.
totally humble. I mean, like an older house, in one of those older houses close to downtown Grapevine that
Oh, okay.
that is like 1,800 square feet. Like, I mean, just
But
totally
he's
just
right though, because
kicking ass with the bees. I was so
the people,
impressed.
he's right though, because the people in that tax bracket have started using the bees on their property as a tax write-off.
It's
Mhm.
it's like a ag exemption thing.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
you get the bees.
You get enough bees. More baby Jessica, Tupperware party or Mary Kay? Which one is fighting for the title there of more baby Jessica?
I'm gonna say Tupperware on these
Me
grounds.
too.
Mary Kay is Tupperware is very tied to a point in time. I feel like where Mary Kay kind of was so big and got bigger and bigger and bigger, like well into the 90s and 2000s.
Mary Kay might predate it, carry through, and then well on the other side of it. Whereas, like
Right.
you're saying, like Tupperware,
Yeah.
if we were to say Tupperware party, people would only know it from the time frame. Very,
1986. Yep.
yeah, very on top of baby Jessica. You're right. So
Remember when women used to do those sex toy parties?
I'm trying to think of the follow-up question.
Did they?
Wait a minute. He makes it sound like it's a period in time and it's not still happening every Tuesday in my neighborhood.
Oh no, it does still happen?
And there's always like it's always like it has like a
Like, you mean like a specific brand is like being
it's always happening in my neighborhood, and
proselytized?
the post game is always like, yeah, and we were airing our grievances and talking about we commiserate with one another. You know what I mean?
No,
You guys
socializing about your
experience this?
preferred product is one thing. Jason's talking about like someone coming with like marketing materials and inventory.
Yeah, that is a thing. That was 100. It still is a thing. In 2003, a woman was arrested in Texas on obscenity charges for hosting
I
a sex
remember
toy party
this.
for undercover narcotic officers. The case was dismissed for the record.
So that's another reason why you don't need narcotic officers as a specific title. really focused on the task at hand there, as you can see.
I guarantee you the narcotics officers just work for the TABC, because that's like a badge with a cape. Like, you just get to work for the TABC and call yourself whatever in the name of stopping somebody from doing something enjoyable.
Doing anything that someone's Baptist great grandma was against.
That's a thing, dude.
Jace.
A facilitator displays and discusses the products. They bring the products and they display and discuss.
You'll have to go to one, bud.
The participants examine and talk about the products with the option of purchasing them from the representative in a private room at the end of the party. Also, other merchandise such as bath salts and aromatherapy body paints are commonly sold.
We're all already there together. We're all seeing it. We all know who all's there. Why we got to go into a private room for the transaction?
Parties
Also-
began in the 1970s and became increasingly popular in the late 80s and early 90s. That's Baby Jessica. That's as Baby
Oh.
Jessica as it gets.
Your mom went to one, Rylan.
100%. All moms did.
Yeah, maybe.
Nope, specifically Rylan's mom, not mine.
Don't make him think about that.
What are you talking about? She's a regular human person with a human body.
Shut up. There you go.
Yoda has an objection.
This
Yodes.
motherfucker.
Brad, Rylan, Jason, apologies for the absence. Would like to guarantee you that it won't be happening again, but summer is probably our worst season, and we gave you a hell of a spring leading into it. So
I'm
I'm not
ready to
going
be
anywhere.
consistent.
I'll see y'all next week.
I will be back. How am I going, Jace? I come back Saturday or Friday?
Yeah, I think so. Monday.
I don't remember. Brad, Riley, Jason, Human Dad's 267. Parkside views of the Plume from Disneyland.
The Plume.
The Disneyland Plume.
Free baby Jessica. Get her a dill. Holler
Dude.
She's in jail right now. Actually,
If
she's
anybody
out.
needs one.
No, they didn't hold her in there. She's probably awaiting trial or in the legal machination phase of this.
She's
whole
out
thing.
on bond.
Yeah.
All right.
They dropped her down a well. Is that where they put her back in the well? That can you imagine?
What if jail was your worst trauma? Like we flipped the rubric for punishment.
It just made it like made you re-experience the thing that was the worst moment of your life. Like you watching your parents get divorced.
Yeah,
or,
Jason just keeps on, like every night he has to get dropped off at the highway side Denny's from mom to dad or dad to mom. Every
it's
night.
not a bad idea. I guarantee people would stop.
Just every night he has to go through
Pedophiling.
the same exact feeling. Being there at the Denny's on the side of 35.
Being at the bottom of the well.
Tell your mom.